Good Morning America is a registered trademark of the ABC Broadcasting Company. I'm not allowed to say that, but I just did anyway. So sue me.
Is it Friday yet?
No, it's Thursday. According to my calendar, which is up to date with a brand new battery, it is Thursday, June 7th. 2018, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is on the air. I'm Dan Koontz, Steve here because the lower third says so. Cat in control. And a good Thursday to you, Steve.
You too, Dano.
Yeah.
Although you didn't get the memo on the shirt, obviously.
No, I wore my Yankee shirt, one of my many Yankee shirts, as you can tell. So, Yankees played a 13-inning marathon at Skydome in Toronto, but they won 3-0. And I watched almost every pitch of every inning.
Good for you.
Yeah. Mariners, unfortunately, came out on the short end of the stick for one of the few times this year. Bullpen let us down a little bit. So.
But still a good game.
Yep.
Good game.
Yep. Big day for us around the old broadcast metroplex. We start really gearing up for commencement exercises. Tomorrow we'll be carrying both Eastmont and Wenatchee's commencement exercises for the class of 2018 live right here on this very station at 6 o'clock. We'll be live from the Town Toyota Center, the 60th commencement exercises for Eastmont High School, and then at 8 o'clock, the 114th commencement exercises for the class of 2018 from Wenatchee High School. That will take place at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Of course, the Town Toyota Center will be hosting Eastmont, and then we got two next week.
Two next week with Westside
High School at the Convention Center on Thursday, a week from today, Thursday the 14th, and then on Friday the 15th, again at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl, the Wenatchee Valley College graduation.
Also noticed on Facebook posting, at least in the Eastmont School District, they're doing their senior salute for the seniors parade, you know, through the elementary schools and get their congratulations from the students there. That's always a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. So looking forward to it. The class of 2018. Go out and get them. Go out and get them. You'll be running this world long after Steve and I have exited our earthly vessel.
Boy,
it's all yours,
left
kids.
You, I don't know.
Great show for you today. We're going to be doing a new tradition that starts today. Once a month, somebody, we don't know who, will come in from the North Central Educational Services District, the good folks at the NCESD. And the first of our series of interviews, which will go on as long as this show goes on, begins today. Dr. Sue Kane will be dropping by alongside Pete Phillips. Sue Kane has been on this show before a couple of times. And Pete Phillips has been on the Guada TV show, hosted by Jenny Rasa Hanahin.
You got that
Guada
right.
TV.
That's what I said.
But Pete's making his very first appearance on this show. The big second annual STEM Summit is coming up this summer. We'll talk about that and other cool stuff. So this will be a new thing. The North Central Educational Services District folks reached out to me, and I said, yeah, I'd like to have you on a regular basis. So that would be
they're
fun.
in charge of all the schools here in North Central Washington. They administer a lot of the federal and state funding.
Yeah. And it's changed completely from the time when I was in school. It was the place where they stored the films. That's basically it.
That's right.
Hi, I want to show a film strip about Adam and Eve. Can you send? Okay, they send one. That was about it. You know, it was like 4 guys in a pickup truck, but it's changed a lot over the years. So looking forward to that conversation with Sue and Pete coming up in the second half of the show. We got local sports. Apple Sox got their first home victory of the year last year. That'll be headlining in sports. We also have Today in History, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Benatti's opinion, the obscure holiday. And it's Thursday. That means Pet of the Week with Megan McPherson will be coming your way. Rocco the dog has been in dog jail, which is what I call the Humane Society, for like 2 years. We got to get Rocco a home. That's just way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if we can make that happen today.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's becoming institutionalized.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. We all saw the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
So 4 minutes
Rocco, free Rocco.
And boy, the Rivercom's been busy this morning. We got a number of breaking news stories that Steve will be getting to. It's been a crazy day for early morning on this Thursday. That's all coming up. Let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. You'll notice some high clouds there. That is the cross camera pulled back quite a bit from where it was yesterday. You see the high clouds. There's a trough of low pressure. It's over the Gulf of Alaska, Steve, but it's slowly going to migrate to our neck of the woods. We still have a couple of fairly nice days, and then the weekend is going to be gradual cooling. This will be the warm day, by the way, of the week. Yesterday we topped off at 79. We'll be in the mid 80s today, so it might be an air conditioning kind of a day. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. And now, from this point forward, you and I guess. We don't know what we have in store. Kat gets to decide.
That
Kat
is
says,
Lake Chelan, I know that.
I want to say
Isn't
that
it, or not?
is either Bear Mountain or Lower Butte. I'm guessing.
Neither.
That's neither.
Neither.
Great. What are we looking at, Kat? Oh, Greens Knob. Okay, that's Greens Knob. But normally Greens Knob, don't we normally have that pointed up lake? Mm-hmm. Greens Knob is the last stop on our Sky-Fi tour. There's no other Sky-Fi tower past Greens Knob, and even that's a long ways away.
Isn't that where they do the Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
It's not Greens Knob.
It's not Greens Knob.
Oh, that's someplace else.
That's someplace else. Good morning, Greens Knob. We are the number 4 rated show in the greater Greens Knob metropolitan area. Beautiful day up at the lake, though, isn't it? Camera number 3, we slowly dissolve to Nanapoc Ridge. We did this a couple of days ago, only this time it's pulled back. It's pulled back there. The snow continues to recede. Snow's pretty much gone from Mission Ridge. I noticed it this morning when I got up and went outside to look up at Mission Ridge. It's all but gone now. It took a long time for the snow to melt, but it did. So it's a beautiful view up in the Lake Wenatchee area, Nanapoc Ridge. However, I mentioned we're the number 4 rated show in Greens Knob, number 1 in Nanapoc Ridge. We lead the ratings up there. So it's huge, huge ratings up there. And finally, camera number 4. We say hello to Billy Goat. Billy Goat, Billy Goat, Billy Goat.
I can see Pateras, but that looks like Bridgeport. And,
yeah, you can't actually see Pateras. All you see there is the Columbia. You can certainly see Brewster. There is it. You think that's smoke, Cat?
There's some haze.
That could be. It's certainly hazy. This is of course, this time of the morning. It's cool and the humidity is at its highest, so you could get haze on the right. Oh, that is smoke. You see that, Steve?
Yeah.
You said that's just about 10 minutes. That's probably just an orchard burn. That's probably an orchard burn. Yeah, that's my guess.
They call that opacity.
Opacity.
The morning sun is shining through the haze and the smoke. So that's.
You wax poetic this morning, Steve. Opacity, opening for the Dave Matthews Band, Labor Day weekend at the Gorge in George. Your weather forecast from the National Weather Service looks like this. There you go. As I mentioned before, warmest day of the week, 86, quite a bit of sunshine today, but then we start changing. It's going to be a little unsettled for the weekend. Yesterday at this time, it looked really good for Friday, and Friday night for outdoor graduation is still going to be okay. The clouds will be thickening up as we progress on Friday, but precipitation Friday night, not till around 11 or maybe midnight, so we will dodge a bullet there.
So the mortar boards aren't going to get wet?
No, nope, we'll be okay. Now, we'll be fairly cloudy by the time commencement begins. In fact, it will be mostly cloudy by 8 o'clock on Friday night for outdoor exercises for Wenatchee High School, but no rain and no wind in the forecast, just kind of overcast. In fact, it'd probably be fairly comfortable.
I would think so.
And whatever rain we get will not start to fall down until commencement exercises have commenced to finish. So there you go. And then wouldn't you know it, just in time for the weekend, we cool way down. Those temperatures Saturday and Sunday about 10 degrees below normal. And you see the raindrop there Friday night. Yeah. The rain expected Friday night into Saturday is going to be in the overnight hours. We're going to get rain, measurable rain. It's an 80% chance of rain Friday night into Saturday, but most of this will be in the wee small hours of the morning.
So no worry for me and my wife in our trailer there at Entiat Park Friday night.
No, you'll be inside. So you're going camping?
Yeah, we are.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Good,
We're
cool.
going to try out the new Entiat Riverside Park.
Oh, good.
Weekend,
Yeah, I understand that's a really nice place.
Yeah, come on out and join us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You bet.
Steve makes a great flank steak. He really does.
Yeah.
So that's
cheap beer, but you know.
Cameras around the valley? Check. Weather forecast? Check. News? Nope, can't check that because we haven't done it yet. The news, and there's a lot of news to get to on this Thursday morning, is next on the agenda with Steve Hare. 1 minute away. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Join the NCW Life Channel for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee High School commencement ceremonies Friday, June 8th.
Coverage brought to you by Hometown Hearing across the mall on Valley Mall Parkway. Columbia Valley Community Health with 9 locations in the greater Wenatchee and Chelan area. And by Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, with a name means a great deal.
Live Friday, June 8th, Eastmont High's graduation at 6, followed by Wenatchee High's graduation at 8, exclusively on the NCW Live Channel.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
And indeed, we have a lot to get to on this Thursday morning here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Here's what's happening around north central Washington. First of all, we're waking up this morning to actually 2 reports of injury traffic accidents. This one involves a car that apparently crashed into an orchard off the Malaga-Alcoa Highway. Our Sky-Fi cams capture these images this morning of emergency crews on the scene of that accident. It's located up on milepost 8. It's near the entrance to the Alcoa Wenatchee Works smelter. So all we have at this point is that there's a car somewhere down in that orchard, and they were recovering, at least the driver. We have no information yet on injuries related to that accident. We're also tracking the efforts of emergency crews responding to an injury accident along Clockham Road. Of course, that's a steep road that actually travels over the pass and into the Ellensburg area. But this accident apparently is near Tarpiskin Creek. It involves a driver who apparently crashed a vehicle there. We have emergency crews on scene. At last report, according to Rivercom Dispatch, CPR was being performed on one of the occupants of that vehicle, and that a helicopter had been deployed to help recover, or at least help rescue that person who was injured in that accident. We expect to get more information on both of these traffic accidents later this morning. Also, tragedy in the Wenatchee School District. They're mourning the death this morning of a high school student who took his own life yesterday. The district issued a news release Wednesday afternoon reporting the death. Principal Eric Anderson also issued a statement in a recorded telephone message to district parents.
As a school, we are making every effort to respond to the needs of our students. This includes resources for students and staff to deal with their issues of shock, grief, and bereavement. The Wenatchee High School family, staff and students alike, will come together during this crisis and will respond to the situation with caring, concern, and attention to the needs of one another.
Meanwhile, the school district is also providing information on how students and faculty can deal with the loss.
Information has been posted to the school's website that all parents should be aware of when their child is experiencing grief about the death of someone they love and care about. Included are signs that indicate the student may not be coping well. At any time, students who need additional support are encouraged to report to the counseling office.
Anderson says grief counseling again will be provided at the high school for anyone who feels a need. Moses Lake Police, acting on a tip, busted a man who was wanted on warrants from the Department of Corrections in Adams County. In fact, the police located 34-year-old Michael Castoreno, the suspect, at a residence in the Terrace area. At that point, they set up some surveillance, but when police approached the home, the suspect then fled, and a chase ensued as police put down spike strips to try to slow him down. Castoreno, however, continued running from law enforcement and eventually headed southbound on Highway 17, where he was again spiked. Now, operating on just one inflated tire, which reduced his speed to about 35 miles an hour, he continued all the way down to Warden, where apparently he has family. Now, in Warden, Castoreno then collided with the U.S. Marshal's vehicle, then fled on foot before he was finally apprehended with the help of a police canine. Castoreno was booked into Grant County Jail on a host of charges, including a convicted felon in possession of 4 handguns, as pictured here in that image provided to us by the Moses Lake Police Department. Also this morning, a recent $3 million state grant is helping to bring the West Kashmere Bridge replacement project closer to construction. Grant Olson has the details there.
In a press release on Wednesday, Senator Brad Hawkins' office said the Washington Freight Mobility Strategic Investment Board awarded Chelan County the $3 million grant. The project has long been a high priority with local officials who worry the US 2 West Kashmere Bridge may fail to the point of closure within a few years. Weight restrictions placed on the bridge for safety reasons already force heavy trucks to move through downtown Kashmere, including hundreds of trucks each week associated with Crunch Pack, the packaged fruit company that's the city's largest employer. The project has now received local, state, and federal appropriations and funding awards of $23 million. Replacing the 86-year-old bridge, which carries Goodwin Road over the Burlington Northern Santa Fe rail line and the Wenatchee River west of Kashmere, is expected to cost between $23 million and $25 million. Grant Olson, NCW Life News.
On the health front this morning, a week ago, a bat that was collected in Chelan County by animal control tested positive for rabies. Well, now we know, according to Veronica Farias, who's the public information officer for the health district, that that bat was in fact found in the city of Wenatchee. But she says it's really not that unusual. She says about 2 to 3 rabid bats are found in the Wenatchee Valley each year. She also tells us what to do in case a bat is found.
So basically, the first thing is determine whether or not you did become in contact with the bat. If it's determined that you haven't, the first thing would be definitely don't touch the bat. And then the second thing would be call animal control so they could come and get the bat for you. Third thing would be to call the health district to determine whether or not it needs to be tested for rabies. And then we also have some information online on how to safely capture a bat in your home, so that would be a good place to go. Another good tip would be just to definitely make sure your pets, your dogs and cats, ferrets, are vaccinated. In the past 2 to 3 years, we've had about 2 additional bats with rabies.
Hideous looking creatures. To avoid possible exposure, though, to rabies, do not touch live or dead bats, and you'll want to make sure your home's open windows have screens as well. By the way, a controlled agricultural burn is planned for this weekend at a pest-infected pear orchard on the western outskirts of Wenatchee. Chelan County Fire Marshal Bob Plum says the fire is necessary to stop the spread of the disease.
This orchard was infected with fire blight. It's a highly contagious disease that transmits by insects getting into the sap that's oozing out of the dead wood, and under certain conditions it can be airborne. It's a type of bacteria. It's the only solution to stop it is to prune the dead wood out and then burn it. That's why it's named fire blight. And in an extreme case like this particular orchard, it's gotten all the way down into the trunk of the tree, and so they have to pull the whole orchard and burn it. And we've got 5 acres of trees here, I believe, that if the plan works, they'll be using an excavator and pulling the trees on Thursday and Friday. And then with the weather window that we have coming this next weekend, with the cooler temperatures and a possibility of rain, we hope to be able to burn the piles.
Now, Plum says if the controlled burn goes forward as planned this weekend, it'll be clearly visible to neighboring homeowners and, of course, the passing motorists.
Our concern is if this were in any other location, it wouldn't be as big a deal, but we're right next to the major highway coming into Wenatchee, Highway 297, and burning it on the weekend, there's going to be a lot of traffic. So we're trying to get the word out to folks so that they don't worry about seeing it, and then there may be some smoke on the road. We're hoping that the weather conditions prevent that, but we're working to see what we need to do to mitigate that danger as well.
And again, it's still not a go, but Plum says he's still working out the details of the planned burn with the orchard owner, and Chelan County Horticultural Pest Board says it'll go forward only if weather conditions allow. With a coverage area spanning nearly 50% of Washington State, a local communications center serves a vital role in keeping our area safe during the fire season. NCW Life recently visited that center to learn more about its operations and the demands of the job. Tucked in a modest building near Pangbourne Airport in East Wenatchee, the Central Washington Interagency Communications Center serves as the dispatch hub for 5 cooperating agencies, covering nearly 22 million acres from the Canadian border all the way down to Oregon. Also known as SWIC, the center serves as the focal point in providing logistical support and resources for anticipated and ongoing fire incidents in Central Washington.
Central Washington Dispatch is one of the largest, if not the largest, dispatch center in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon and Washington. So as we receive a phone call in, a report of a fire, at that point it goes to the initial attack desk. Those folks act on it. We send resources out to the incident. As the incident expands, we start incorporating aircraft. Aircraft is another section within the initial attack office, and the consoles on this side of the room dispatch those aircraft to the incidents. And we have several aircrafts at our disposal, from fire bosses out of Dalles to large air tankers out of Moses Lake, We have helicopters here in Wenatchee, helicopters in Ellensburg, and they can be placed anywhere at any time. So we do have a large fleet of aircraft. And again, that's processed through the aircraft. As the incident expands and they start needing resources from outside the area, outside the general vicinity of the fire, then the logistics section would take over at that point. And they would start creating what we call a resource order and sending that to those units and importing those resources into our fires. And we can still have those folks here within a few hours. So what we're looking at here is some of the technology that we use within the dispatch center. This is the geospatial portal. With this, we can view any lightning strikes that's happened within the last week or so. We can view recent incidents that have happened in the last few days or extended incidents that are ongoing. Also within this, we can look at heat signatures from satellites to help us detect fires that are out in the landscape. And we have ability to look at rain shadows, rain forecasts, radar. We can look at current and predicted weather as far as temperatures, humidities, and some of those things on this with this technology.
Despite the transition from staffing remote lookout towers to using intricate mapping and tracking software at SWCC, Operations Coordinator Jim Duck says staff still combs through hundreds of fire reports.
One year we had a big lightning bus come through, and we took 600 fire reports in about a 48-hour period. Now those aren't all separate fires, but when folks see them, they see them from different directions, and they may tell us a little different location. And so sorting out all of those and find out which ones are actually fires and which ones are not was quite a chore. We work closely with all the 911 centers locally here in Rivercom and Chelan County. We also do Kitcom in Kittitas County, Suncom in Yakima, Kittitas Sheriff's Office, MAC. We probably touch base with as many as 10 or 12 different 911 centers at any given time. Our fire season's busy, I would say, probably from the 1st of July. It's getting longer. We're busy right now a little bit, but some seasons will run into the end of October. We come in the morning, and we don't know what time we're going home at night. 12, 14-hour days. We try to keep it to somewhere in that vicinity. It does seem to be they're starting earlier and lasting longer before we get the weather in the fall that kind of puts us out of business for a little while.
Staffed year-round, the Interagency Dispatch Center helps agencies respond faster and with adequate resources to help minimize catastrophic wildfire throughout the state. Steve Hare, NCW Life News. Fascinating tour.
Yeah.
Really an interesting operation up there. I want to give a big thank you to Brant Stanger, who is pictured there, and Jim Duck, and especially to Robin DeMario with the Wenatchee and Okanagan National Forest for helping coordinate that tour for us, and Caitlin, of course, did a stellar yeoman's job on the editing and producing of that video. So thank you.
Who was that your idea, or did they reach out to you? How did this whole thing come together?
Actually, it was my idea.
Really? Good.
It's one of the Valley's best kept secrets up there, and they're kind of hidden away in kind of a nondescript building there. Mm-hmm. So hey, I think it serves us well.
And it's ironic because we deal with SWCC all the time. Once we get into the fire season, you know, we've known Jim Duck for 8 million years, but I never actually met him. It's always been a phone call. You know, what can you tell us? Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, good stuff indeed. 23 minutes after the hour, as you drive by our building here on North Chelan, you see a big, handsome guy's face smiling at you right on the facade. It's not me. Grant. It's Grant. It's Grant Olson. And the reason we put Grant's picture up on the side of the building is that he's wanted. He's a wanted. No, I'm kidding. He does our news. Our news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That's 3 chances for you to watch the news right here on this television station. Our nightly newscast is also available on demand, 5:30 on our website, also on our Facebook page. Check it out. Get all caught up with the day's events. And if you
share it with your friends.
Yeah, share it with your friends, absolutely. And if you want to give us a hand, if you think there's something out there that's newsworthy, we'd love to hear from you. Steve Hare does the honors.
Pretty simple. Just read the little information below me here. You can contact us on our website at ncwlife.com, on social media through Facebook and Twitter, on our email account there. The address is news@ncwlife.com. And finally, our breaking news hotline. Call us at 888-NCWL. Let us know what's going on out there.
62 degrees and fair skies, high clouds, and about 86. Going to be a warm day today. And then the weekend we cool down and we will have some rain Friday night into Saturday morning. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays, pet of the week. Everyone is entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion on my conversation with Dr. Sue Kane and Pete Phillips. Well, all coming up between now and 8 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. Wake up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Head.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Back at it live here from Studio 5 in downtown Wenatchee on this Thursday morning edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Sports. The Wenatchee Apple Sox picked up their first home victory of the year. Last night, they took the final 9-2 at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Honker scored first on an RBI double by Ethan Lincecum and a balk called with a runner at third on starting pitcher Sam Wong. It was 2-0. Just like that, but then the Sox mounted a pretty sizable comeback, however. They scored a run in the 4th, 2 more runs in the 5th, and then a 5-run 6th inning, highlighted by Mason Marenko's 2-run double. Marenko wasn't done yet, by the way, as he stepped up to bat in the 7th with 2 on. The voice of the Apple Sox is Joel Norman. He has the play-by-play and the video courtesy of Local Tel's Sky-Fi camera.
Here's the pitch from Mace. Hit the opposite way down the line, and that ball's going to get down. It'll bounce just short of the wall. Poffenroth comes in to score, and it's 9-2 Apple Sox on the RBI double by Mason Marenko. It's deja vu, back-to-back doubles and back-to-back plate appearances for Marenko. 1-2 again after the foul ball. Stainbrook delivers, swing and a miss. Troy Stainbrook strikes out the side, and the Apple Sox pick up the 9-2 victory over the Northwest Honkers. It's their first home win of the season at Paul Thomas Senior Field. What they're hoping will be the first of many this coming summer.
So with the win, the Apple Sox improved to 3-2 on the year overall in the season. They'll host another non-league game, 7:05 tonight. The Highland Bears are in town. Here's the rest of the West Coast League. Your scores from last night. The Les Schwab scoreboard looks like this. Port Angeles beat Bend 8-1. Walla Walla stopping Bellingham 5-1. Victoria held off a late Yakima Valley rally for a 6-5 win. Corvallis, an unfriendly guest at Kelowna. They downed the Falcons 16-7. That included an 11-run 7th inning for the Knights. Your schedule for this evening. Yakima Valley is at Victoria, an 11 a.m. day game. Wow. Corvallis heads to Bellingham. They will get going at 6:35 tonight. And again, the Apple Sox are home for another non-league game. Mariners came back against Houston last night, took the lead only to see it disappear. Blown save. Doesn't happen too often, but Wanda Casio couldn't hold on. The lead. The final was 7-5. Trailing 3-2 in the top of the 7th. Seattle's Denard Spahn hit his first homer in a Mariners uniform. That tied the game. Then the Imps took the lead on an RBI base hit by Gene Segura. Then on came to Casio in relief in the bottom of the 7th, and he surrendered back-to-back hits. By the time it was done, Houston had scored 4 runs, and they had retaken the lead 7-4. Kyle Seager went homer in the 8th. Seattle got 2 on with Nelson Cruz at the plate of the 9th inning, but Hector Rondon struck him out. Hector Rondon, I should say, struck him out in that end of the ball game at 7-5. Manager Scott Service says Nicasio didn't pitch badly, just Houston kept getting hits.
They're tough. They're tough to strike out. You get 2 strikes on a couple guys. They put the bat on the ball, and they got balls to fall in tonight. So no, our guys really competed their tail off all night, and we're down early. We come back. Span hits a big homer, and we continue to put pressure on them. So we played hard. We've been playing really hard. Just didn't quite go our way tonight.
So the Mariners are off to Tampa Bay. They'll take on the Rays. First pitch at 4:10. Mike Leake will toe the rubber. for the Mariners. The American League West, your Les Schwab scoreboard looks like this. The Mariners, of course, their lead in the West is now shrunken to just one game, but last night's loss to Houston. Texas beat Oakland 8-2. Angels held off a late rally. They knocked off Kansas City. Los Angeles 4 games behind Seattle in the West. Oakland 7.5 games back. And at 30 minutes after the hour, we go from sports to the obscure holiday. And today, June 7th, is VCR Day. Yes, the video cassette recorder, a major innovation in its day. The VCR was first commercially released. You could go to your local electronics store in 1956 and buy one. MPEX made the first one, the VRX 1000. Estimated retail cost $50,000. They didn't sell a lot of those. Of course, VCRs have completely fallen off the radar. You know, laser discs and then compact discs and then DVDs, and now streaming. VCRs are pretty much done. They don't even manufacture VCRs anymore. But when we get to today in history, we're going to talk about a couple of very important Supreme Court cases. We can't forget Sony Corporation of America v. Universal City Studios Incorporated. In 1984, the Supreme Court ruled in a 5-4 vote that personal use of a video cassette recorder to record television programs for later viewing is okay. If they had gone the other way, these things wouldn't exist. Thank you very much, Justice John Paul Stevens. Happy VCR Day. I got one somewhere sitting around in my closet. Today in history, happy 89th birthday to Vatican City. Vatican City came into existence on this date in 1929. It was called the Lateran Treaty between the city of Rome, the government of Italy, and the Roman Catholic Church. Vatican City came into existence on this date in 1929. 110 acres, population of about 1,000. It's the smallest country in the world by far, by both size and population. The Vatican stamps its own coins. They use the euro. The $1 euro coin has a picture of the Pope on it, and it's in high demand with coin collectors. Vatican has its own post office, issues its own stamps. The Vatican mail system is used by Romans because it's better than the Italian mail system, and there are no taxes in Vatican City. If you live in Vatican City, you don't have to pay taxes. They sell stamps and coins and pamphlets and medals and all kinds of tourist mementos, and that's how Vatican City makes their dough. Happy birthday, Vatican City. Two major Supreme Court decisions handed down in this state. June 7th, 1965, the Supreme Court in Griswold v. Connecticut prohibited the state, this is absolutely true, it was against the law in a number of states to use contraception if you were married. In a 7-2 decision written by Justice William O. Douglas, the famous right to privacy came into existence. The Bill of Rights in the Constitution does not explicitly say anywhere that there's a right to privacy, but William O. Douglas said that there was a right to privacy if you look hard enough in the penumbras and imaginations of the other constitutional protections. It was, of course, the stepfather to what eventually become the Roe v. Wade decision, one of the most famous decisions of all time, handed down in the state 53 years ago today. This one, 47 years ago today, got almost no attention at all. I'm talking about Cohen v. California. Paul Cohen was arrested and charged for disturbing the peace because he was in public with a 4-letter word that I can't say on television, but the Supreme Court said writing is protected under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Even if you don't like the word and you're exposed to it in public, you can't arrest him for doing it. It was called Cohen v. California. Nobody paid any attention to it then. We do now, don't we? And this is the 36th anniversary of Graceland opening to the public. Graceland, Elvis Presley's famous mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, was open to the public. The bathroom where Elvis Presley died is off limits. The entire second floor is off limits except for family members. Graceland is the second most visited house in America. 600,000 people a year tour the gates of Graceland. Only the White House gets more tourists every year. And at 34 minutes after the hour, 4 birthdays. The king of cool, my fave, Dean Martin. Here's Big Daddy Dino. He did it all. Started out as a boxer, sang, acted, produced, of course, the Rat Pack, concert stages, nightclubs, recordings, motion pictures, television. The guy did it all. Hosted, of course, the Dean Martin Show and the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. Memories are made of this. That's amore. Everybody loves somebody sometime. The great Dean Martin would have been 101 years old today. He died Christmas Day, 1995. Tom Jones. It's not unusual. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 Delilah. She's a lady. Tom Jones, the Welsh singer and actor, is 78 years old today, still performing. You gotta admire guys who are 78 years old. He's got all the money in the world. He didn't have to do it. He does it because he says, I like performing. Good for Tom Jones. He's 78 years old today. Thurman Munson, the great Thurman Munson. There he is. American baseball player, of course, Yankee catcher from 1969 till his death in 1979. American League Rookie of the Year in 1970, American League MVP in 1976, 7 times an All-Star, 2 times a world champion. The first Yankee captain since Lou Gehrig himself. Thurman Munson was born June 7th, 1947, died in a plane crash in August of 1979 at the age of 32. And finally, speaking of somebody who died way too young, Prince Rogers Nelson. Over 100 million records sold worldwide. He's one of the best-selling music artists of all time. And before he passed away, his shelf was full of Grammys. He had 8 of them. 6 American Music Awards, a Golden Globe Award, an Academy Award, and of course, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 2004. We miss this guy, and apparently he's got thousands of hours of unreleased recordings sitting in vaults. We hope to hear one of these days. 35 minutes after the hour, it is Thursday, Pet of the Week. Let's see if we can get Rocco the dog home. Pet of the Week on the NCW Life channel.
Megan McPherson here with the NCW Life channel, and we're here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we're also here with Rocco. Can you tell us about Rocco?
Rocco loves to go. Rocco's been here for quite a while. He actually doesn't live at the shelter right now just because he's been here for so long. He's had a lot of anxiety, and so he lives with his wonderful foster mom. And he is just a great boy. He's about 4 years old, and he loves to play. He loves other dogs. He loves cats as long as they're not runners. But he is known to sleep with the cat at his foster home right now. Yeah, he's a great boy, and as long as he has someone home with him, he's gonna do really well in that family, whether that's an adult or other animals. He is not a good dog for small children. It's too exciting for him. It's, you know, and he's got a little bit of anxiety, so. Yeah. But he loves to be with this person, and we were just talking earlier, and we think he'd be a great hiking dog. Yeah. Because he has a lot of energy, as you can see. Rocco has written a letter to his future family, so I'll read it to you. Pretty endearing. Hi, future human family. My name is Rocco. I live long walks on the beach, or really walks anywhere as long as I'm with you. Sometimes I get excited to see new things that I try to pull you over to see them with me. I love to go and be involved in everything you do. Staying in and watching a movie cuddling on the couch is just fine too. Hopefully we can cuddle. I love to cuddle. My foster mom says I'm the best kisser. I mean, I'm always practicing kissing everyone I meet. My foster mom does have cats and other dogs, and I love to play with my foster brother and sister. I always back down if someone gets grumpy because I just want everybody to be happy. 2 of my foster siblings are cats. One of them lets me hang out with him as long as he doesn't run. I don't get too excited and play nice. Just the other day, my foster mom caught me kissing the cat too, which confused the cat. I'm not sure why. We sleep side by side, cuddling my foster mom's bed the whole time she's sleeping. The other cat is a scaredy cat and runs. He won't let me meet him. I suppose I get it. I'm pretty big and clumsy. My foster mom has been working on making me wait to stretch up and give you a kiss. It's my favorite thing. I'm not too sure about playing with toys yet. I'd rather roughhouse with you, but I need reminders to take a break so I don't get carried away. Sometimes I get really lonely when you're not home, so having the Playmate dogs helps me from getting bored. I don't have accidents in the house. In fact, I love my doggy door. Sometimes I like to go outside and lay in the sun and sniff the air, but on rainy days, my favorite thing to do is lay in the window and watch outside. My foster mom has told me how good I am at not barking at people walking by, even if my foster brother and sister are barking. So if you're looking for a super affectionate guy, I'm the one. I'm just a goofy kid in a big dog body, just waiting to be your partner in crime. I'm ready to be by your side all the time and eager to find new adventures together.
So if somebody wants to adopt Rocco, what should they do?
So Rocco is a little bit unique situation because he, like I said, he's not living at the shelter. So they can email our foster coordinator, which is foster@wenatcheehumane.org, or they can call the shelter and speak with Donna, and she can help arrange a meeting. And then once that's done, fill out an application, pay his adoption fee, and take him home.
Do you have anything to say, Rocco? The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This is Megan McPherson, and that's our Pet of the Week from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. The Sage and Son Family Festival is June 8th to June 9th in Ephrata. This event is full of activities that connect the community and includes a majority of Northwest entertainment and vendors. The Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market is every Saturday at Pybus Market from 8 to 1 until October 27th. Eat healthy, eat local, and come support your local growers and producers. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
Vominos junk haulers, big or small, they haul it all. Vominos junk haulers are experienced at hauling junk from your household items to yard and construction debris. That old hot tub and eyesore, Vominos, will make it Vominos. Recycling is a priority to Vominos junk haulers. They'll haul away your old appliances and electronics. And for the do-it-yourselfers, Vominos Junk Haulers also rents trucks and trailers. Call Vominos Junk Haulers and Moving Service today to schedule your free estimate.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I don't know what it is, but I've always hated getting dressed up. You know, I remember like I was in 3rd grade or something. My family was going to go get some pictures taken, and my mom laid some clothes out for me, a dress shirt, a tie, and a jacket, and I felt this, just looking at them, this unbidden wash of shame coming over me because I had to wear those clothes. Now, I didn't plan this. I mean, the same shame another kid would feel if he had to dress in rags, which actually I literally would have preferred to wear. But I guess I was lucky to be born at a time when being a hippie was kind of cool, you know, and somewhat accepted in society. Well, part of society anyway. Hey, you can take the boy out of the hippies, but you cannot take the hippie out of the boy. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
The NCW Life Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
We're here to celebrate every season with award-winning dining, full-service spa, and 170 waterfront guest rooms. Come experience our tradition of hospitality at Campbell's Resort on Lake Chelan.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. My 4 worst subjects in school: science, technology, engineering, and math. You put them all together, and it stands for STEM. And today, in the first of a long series, we hope this continues on and on and on and on. About once a month, we're going to interview folks from the North Central Educational Services District. And today, My guests are, to my immediate left is Dr. Sue Kane, is no stranger to this show. She's been on before, and you agreed to come back.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know what you were thinking. And my far left is Pete Phillips, who is the Director of Technology for the NCESD.
Correct.
The education, we're just going to say ESD.
ESD.
It's just easier. We're here to talk about the STEM Summit, which is coming up in August, and people go, August is a long time, but we need to plant the seed a little bit early. We know all about you, Sue, so we're going to skip by you real quick because you're a first-timer, so you first-timers get the same question, Pete. A little something about Mr. Phillips. Tell us about yourself.
Thanks for having us on the show. This is great. Been at the ESD for a few years and Director of Technology, which is a pretty wide umbrella of things that fall under that. So from the IT side, networking, infrastructure, that side of the house, all the way into instructional technology, integration of tools, and making those things work in the classroom. So STEM falls under that whole area.
That is a big umbrella.
Yeah.
So my guess is you're pretty busy.
Oh, everybody's busy. It's good work.
So the North Central Educational Services District encompasses 4 school districts in our area, is that correct?
Oh.
Or more than that? I'm trying to think how many.
Yeah, we have 29.
29 school districts that fall under your...
4 counties.
Of the 29 school districts, how many people have, say, like a Ron Brown who handles technology for individual districts? Is that, how many of those?
Yeah, I'd say probably our big 3 obviously follow that model with Moses Lake and Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, and then probably a few others, just a handful. And everyone else, as we get down into our medium-sized school districts, they need some help and some support managing technology for sure, but also just the resources, and that's where the ESD comes in, is providing resources with technology, but also we have a whole bunch of other services around HR, business office, migrant, special ed. We provide anything a school needs is where the ESD falls.
Did your job exist before you got it, or was it created and said, I think Pete might be the guy for it?
It was there. There was some pieces of this, and I think that as we move throughout over the past 10 years or so, with the way budgets have gone at the state level and the schools becoming more frugal and trying to be more efficient, the ESD is really able to step in and provide some of those services and leverage the services across all 29 school districts.
Dr. Sue Kane, of course, has been on this show before on a number of occasions. First of all, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while.
Oh, yeah,
good.
Thank you.
Science, technology, engineering, and math. In some districts, I know Wenatchee for one adds the A for arts, so it's a STEAM instead of STEM. Are people finally getting this? We've been hammering STEM and STEAM for a couple of years just on this show, not to mention other places. Are people grasping it? They understand it. They understand this is the future of education, the future of jobs, the future of professions, the future. They get it now, right?
That awareness piece is coming along. Yeah, we're still coming into folks that are new to the idea of those being integrated. And kind of what does that actually look like in practice? How do we get it into the everyday experience for students? But yeah, I'm not answering as many calls about stem cells as I used to. But
there's not a microscope on her desk. We're not doing that.
There might be a microscope on my desk, but no.
This is the 2nd annual STEM Summit, which is coming up in August at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Obviously, 2nd is good, which means you did the first one and it went off good enough that you're going to have a second one, right?
Yeah, so last year we did a 4-day summit. 275 educators from all over North Central Washington came in and did 54 sessions of professional learning around STEM, robotics, science, technology, how to leverage different technology applications in your classroom. It was all grades, K through 12, that were there. We had fantastic keynotes, and we really kind of want to outdo that this year. So we're setting our sights even higher this year.
Pete, what's your role in all this and putting this summit together?
Well, I think that we're trying to go bigger and better in year 2. So just reaching out to more educators. We really want to use the teachers in our region to teach these sessions so that they're in front of their peers and they gain that credibility, but also share their expertise. So just kind of organizing, making sure we've got the right people in the right places, and doubling our attendees.
For the veteran teachers who've been teaching for 20, 25 years, either K all the way through 12, how have they been responding to STEM? Because this is new for them. They have their ways of teaching now, and now there's a whole new thing out there. Has that been kind of an uphill struggle for some of the veteran teachers who have their ways of teaching, and now they have to relearn how to teach certain things?
No, it's actually an old new idea.
Okay.
You know, a lot of our educators are super excited to be able to return to some creativity, to be able to, you know, think outside the box. We actually, under the No Child Left Behind era, we went to more of a prescribed education model, and educators, a lot of them lost their freedom to kind of be creative in the classroom. And this is, you still kept the destination for where we want to go with education out there, but we've given educators back the opportunity to get a little bit creative with kids. And what we see is really actually people getting excited and digging in and finding new ways to make connections. And educators are not educators because they don't feel passionate about student learning. You know, they definitely are excited to see kids light up about this. And that's the thing, is that STEM education is one of those vehicles that really gets kids excited about coming to school, about learning, about where they can apply what they're learning.
How long have they been teaching STEM to the future teachers, the teachers who are going to college to get their teaching degree, to get their certification, to go out and educate the kids? How long has STEM been taught in the colleges as you work your way towards your degrees? Has that been going on for quite some time?
Yeah, I think it has. I think that the acronym has recently gained some traction, but the integration of science and technology has been around forever, like Sue said. And I think now the teachers have this freedom and the ability to be more creative, and it's really exciting. I think the part that we hear about a little bit is we get some fear, right? Because we don't understand as adults, what we don't know or are experts at. There's a little bit of fear to jump into that world, so that's easily overcome though with integrating this piece.
The STEM Summit is in August. It's August 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Is this strictly for professional educators? How does this whole thing work, this summit?
Is not, I mean, professional educators, yes. It's mostly teachers, paras, administrators that are going to come for this type of thing. But the community-based organizations that have an educational arm are certainly welcome to join us, and they're invited to attend as well.
Do teachers get their CE credits on this? Because teachers have to do the continuing education to keep their certification up. That's all part of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
As well?
There's actually a new state requirement that some of those clock hours be STEM clock hours, and there will be all sorts of opportunities for STEM clock hours, obviously, at a STEM summit. So.
How many people you expect to attend to this thing?
We're thinking we're targeting as 400. It's a good size summit.
Yeah, that is a good size summit.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did this whole thing originate from last year? I mean, did a bunch of people get together in your office, Sue and Pete, and say we need to get together before school starts? It's in mid-August, and tell folks about the latest and greatest. What's the genesis of the whole STEM Summit to begin with?
We've tried to pull things off like this and just haven't been able to put it all together. And so, as the ESD provides professional development primarily as our bread and butter to teachers, we're doing this in pockets, and so I think it just kind of came together with some requirements that came down around science specifically, and getting all the teachers in one room and doing it during this week, and then it just expanded from there. Why don't we do some math? Why don't we do some technology? And then it becomes the STEM Summit.
Is this place, North Central Washington, the footprint that is the NCESD, is it a hard sell for teachers? Hey, congratulations, you got your degree. I mean, I know there's some schools, we'll take this specifically, the Waterville School District has decided to go to a 4-day school week beginning next week because they are having a hard time filling the positions, and they wanted to make it more attractive for teachers just out of the box. They got their degree, they're certified, they're ready to go out and educate America's youth, but they don't want to start in Waterville, and so they're trying to make it as easy as possible to recruit people to some of the smaller towns. Is the Wenatchee Valley in our area an easy sell for prospective teachers?
There's a teacher shortage everywhere.
I noticed that. I read that in the paper.
It's one of those things that, it's a profession that asks a lot. We demand a lot of our educators, especially those K-12 educators. If you think about having to go to work and have continuous professional development for your entire career, people peeking over your shoulder and making sure that your kids are learning the things that they're supposed to be learning. And that's understandable accountability, but it makes for a pretty stressful job for a first-year teacher too. And then when you add being remote and rural and maybe not having access to some of the technology that might help you, maybe. There are there are reasons why people would have a harder time adjusting to that.
Do you agree with that, Pete? Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we see this in every industry within our small towns. People that want to come back and live in that community will come back, find a job, and make it work. Folks that come in outside and they're thinking, I wanna be up in this rural area up in Omak or Tenasket, and they're coming from a different area, and they get there and they find out how rural it is and the lack of resources. It's an eye-opening experience, and those folks tend to leave. So I think we also couple that with the way that education is funding schools, and teachers can make more money in certain districts than they can in others. So that drives that competition up, and the need to retain teachers in our small schools even harder.
And new teachers, by definition, are young, and young people like to do things, and sometimes there just isn't a lot to do in certain locations.
Yeah.
So is this a problem we can overcome, or is this going to be? Is it? First of all, let me ask you this: is it K through 12? Does it really not matter where you're certified to teach? There's a teacher shortage everywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
And especially in STEM.
Especially in STEM.
Yeah.
Even though this is the growth industry in the world of education, there's a STEM shortage.
Yeah.
STEM teacher shortage. That's a little troubling, I must say. How do we get it? How do we fix this problem? The teacher shortage. How do we do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that there's definitely not going to be just one solution.
Right.
You know, I think this is one of those kind of collective community problem-solving issues. It's getting creative and finding ways for, you know, a lot of the state level conversations right now are about creating ways for people who have been in STEM industry to get alternative teaching certificates, and maybe on your way towards retirement, you spend a few years doing, you know, formal education. We're looking at different ways to support them, you know, with better income. You're doing things like what Waterville's doing and getting creative with your scheduling. You know, I think there's probably dozens of solutions that are going to collectively make an impact on what we're trying to do. But yeah, teacher shortage.
Yeah, you see it and this is the time of year when you start seeing those things.
Yeah.
And you don't see too many big school districts advertising for teachers. It's always the smaller ones, isn't it? Trying to get teachers getting going and getting. It's troubling. It's troubling. Let's get back to the STEM summit real quick while I have you here. First of all, I wrote a little note here. It says, first of all, they forgot to bring the check. I'm kidding. We don't charge. Scholarships. $1 million in scholarships?
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
How to get in on that?
I know.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to partner with Washington State Opportunity Scholarship, which is it's a public-private investment in the state of Washington for 4-year STEM scholarships. And they opened this application in January, February, and they said, we'll provide you with the number of applicants from each district and the names of those kiddos, and you can follow up with the ones that have started their applications. Let's see if we can get a lot of applicants from this region. And we put in 77 applications collectively from the Wenatchee and Eastmont and Kashmir and Quincy school districts. And we're awarded 48 of those. So it's a total of $1.1 million in STEM scholarships coming in, and yeah, I think that WSOS is for a STEM bachelor's degree. It's $22,500 per student, so it is not a small award. It's a really big accomplishment. Really proud of some of the counselors that kind of you know, took this on and championed it and made sure that kids made that connection and put in those applications. And
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of degrees. I mean, you think about 48 STEM degrees coming back. That's going to be an incredible wave.
Kids who get a lot of STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, they have a head up down the road. They're ahead of the game, aren't they? We can't stress that enough.
Right, yeah, technology is ever increasing in every field, right? Agriculture around here is becoming heavily technology based. And so the jobs that are going to be needed to support those tractors, that equipment in the field, the equipment in the sheds, supporting those pieces, computer technology related for sure. Yeah.
It's not too early to start kids on STEM, is it? They can start in kindergarten, right?
Actually, we really want you to start before that.
Okay.
You know, there's things that families can do at home to build.
Give us. We only have about a minute left. Real quick, so you know, for somebody who's got a kid who's 3 or 4 years old and just discovering the great big world, what do you advise a parent to do to get the kid ready for kindergarten from a STEM standpoint?
From a STEM standpoint, we want to get their hands dirty. We want to get them telling you about observations that they make, not worrying so much about, you know, the actual math, you don't have to teach them adding and subtraction, that sort of thing, but can we put things in order? Can we, describe a shape? What do you notice about the sides and how many sides? Or what do you notice about an angle? Having conversations with mom and dad and grandma and neighbors about the observations is a really great way to start, and anybody can do that.
Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Dr. Sue Kane and Pete Phillips from the North Central Educational Services District. Again, the second annual STEM Summit, August 13th through the 16th at the Wenatchee Convention Center. For more information, you can go to their website. Just do what I do, Google STEM Summit Wenatchee, and you'll find what you need to do. Go out and have a great Thursday, all right?
Thanks, you too.
That goes for everybody. Till tomorrow, bye-bye.